Good morning, beautiful people. I wanted to talk to you today about living an awake life and what it means to be radiant and why it's hard for people who aren't already experiencing this to even get it, why it's hard to explain that you want to do the habits of Ayurveda, right? So I am Jessica Graham Robinson of SacredSpaceHealingArts.com, and here I am this beautiful day. Look at it, it's amazing. The sky is blue, the water is clear and reflective, and everything is as it should be, right? Not that it's not always, but so today, one of the things that in particular that I wanted to share with you is one of the questions I've been asking myself for months now is how to talk to people about living healthier habits, about living a healthier life when those people aren't already doing it. Because people that are already living wonderful habits, they get it because they're doing it and they know what it feels like to be on that side of things. But for those people who aren't already living it and don't already have the experience of being awake, of feeling what it is to be vibrant, to live a life that is awake and radiant and thriving, like if that's not where you're at, then I'm not trying to take a dig at you by any means, but instead I'm trying to reconcile and counter the tendency to have the oh what the hell, right? There's actually a real principle, oh what the hell principle, and the what the hell principle is basically like if you've screwed up already, like what's the point? Let's just go ahead and screw up really royally, okay? So you've all been there, I'm sure, we all have, but we know that when we go down that road, we just keep going further down that road, and then eventually the what the hell trajectory is one of suffering, sadly. Because nobody wants to feel that way. Nobody wants to feel heavy and not on purpose. No one wants to feel out of control and like it is they're just going day to day and not fully living. It feels amazing to feel like your life is on purpose. It feels amazing to feel like your body is working with you and for you and thriving. But so here's the thing, the reason that it's hard to talk about it is because unless you've experienced radiance, like true vibrance, unless you've had a time where you can go back to and really remember it and feel it in your body, then it's hard to even imagine that it really exists, because otherwise the only place you've ever seen it is in a movie when someone is explaining what it's like. But it's like this. In the beginning, let's say I gave you, as a Ayurvedic health coach that I am, let's say I gave you some habits to integrate. Let's say we worked on eating an earlier, lighter dinner, which is the first habit that I usually talk to people about. In the beginning, it would feel like, what's the point? Because if you haven't had that experience, of radiance, if you didn't know that habit would bring you something really worthwhile, like well worth and worth more than your time and effort and energy spent into forging this new habit, if you knew, you would do it, most certainly, absolutely, without a doubt. If you did not know, which is the case with most people, for most people they're going to say, why is that going to help me? How is that going to help my back pain? Or how is that going to help my anger issues? Or how is that going to help the fact that I hate my job, right? And here's the answer. It does. Because this is one of the very first habits that by doing, you start to experience, in the beginning, physical symptoms that feel a lot better. In the beginning, reduced inflammation, lightness of the body, clarity of the mind. In the beginning, it's stuff like that. After this period, in the beginning, when you continue with that habit and then even start to implement others, what happens is that you start to experience the more subtle, quote unquote, subtle aspects of thriving. And that's thriving is radiance, right? Thriving is feeling in your body on purpose, amazing, alive, feeling alive in a way that you don't know if you haven't had that experience, feeling like life is delightful, like life is meaningful, feeling like you matter, feeling like you love yourself, having the experience of love, not just of yourself, which is truly amazing, but for all people, for all beings, for all of life. So there's so much to be felt. There's so much that shifts when we start to shift some of these physical habits. So another one of the habits of Ayurveda, of self-care, of dinacharya, is breath body practices. It's just moving. It's moving your body, hopefully in the morning first, but then also throughout the day. And initially you think, yeah, exercise, it has these benefits. Sure, it does. It has these very physical benefits. And we also know that it has very positive mental benefits. But Western medicine doesn't necessarily acknowledge how deep that goes into the mental, emotional, spiritual side of healing. When we are not moving our bodies, the energy, which is the life force, prana, gets very stuck and stagnant. And in particular right now, because we're living these modern technology-driven lives, we tend to be pretty stagnant as humans, unless you're doing something, unless you have some other good habits to counter that. And what happens is, like I said, the energy gets stuck, it gets stagnant, and you feel really crappy, you feel really crummy because of it. And it's not because, it's not something. What you're gonna do when you feel that way is you're gonna go reach for something to cure it, right? And one thing we often look for is food as comfort, or watching something, or doing something that's actually a coping mechanism but does not help. And then there's the other end. There are people who aren't necessarily looking for a coping mechanism. They're actually looking for a cure, but they're looking for a quick fix. They're not looking in the right place. They're looking for a product or one thing that's going to change their lives and reverse all of the damage. Or I don't want to say damage as in it's a fixed thing that never can be taken back, but the effect, right? So they're looking for something to take away the effect of years and years of being stagnant, or years and years of eating in ways, or just being in ways that goes against your nature. You can't do that. There is no quick fix. The fix is you doing the work to do what's healthy, inside and out, what's holistically healthy for your true essential nature, which is more than just this body, more than just this mind. It is your soul, your spirit. It is all of you, all of your layers. And so these habits of Ayurveda do that. I promise, I'm not just saying it. I feel it, I believe it, I know it, I experience it in my body, and I've seen it. I see it in hundreds of other people. So this isn't something that I'm trying to sell. It's something that I'm inviting you to listen to your inner self, to your body, to your mind, to the wisdom that is present within all of us. You are a healer. You can heal yourself. You just need some help, right? If you're stuck in one of those spots that is not radiant, if you are not feeling like you are living an awake and on purpose life, then you need some help. And that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. I was in your place 2 years ago and I needed help. And I had a lot of tools already. I was already a yoga teacher. I was already a massage therapist. I already knew a lot and had studied a lot about health and holistic health, but I wasn't doing it. And so we need help not just in the knowledge piece, but mainly we need help in being supported, in being heard, and in implementing. So that's what I do. I'm a yoga health coach, also known as an Ayurvedic health coach. I use the habits of Ayurveda to teach people how to line up with nature, how to nourish their bodies, their minds, their spirits, how to nourish all of you inside and out for the greatest amount of thrive and beauty and radiance and vibrance that you could imagine experiencing. So if you're interested, you can always go to my website, sacredspacehealingarts.com, and schedule a wellness discovery session with me where we talk about what your goals are, where you are right now, honestly. What are you experiencing? If it's not awake, radiant living, what is it? And then how do we get you into the place of living an awake and radiant life? I'm passionate about this. I'd love to have a conversation with you. It's free and there are no strings attached. So I hope you go to sacredspacehealingarts.com and click the button to schedule with me. In any case, have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and thanks for watching. Please like and share and subscribe.